Hello, this is Pixel Freak, and we're doing part 53 of the Final Fantasy Dimensions walkthrough. So we have Sarah on her own, and in this piece we're going to cross Mount Burtgang. It's a pretty quick piece of the video. She's not in any real danger in case you have her like I do, where she's just a black mage. She's a white mage. She's probably in an even more precarious situation, because as a white mage you really can't do any damage output. It's not anything serious, at least. So you're really going to need to run there. As a black mage, it's probably like the second worst situation that you could be in. Because as a black mage, I can do a little bit of damage, but I can't really take a lot of damage. So for the most part in this video, you're just going to watch me run from fights. I may fight one, maybe two. There's no boss here. You're just going to pick up treasure boxes and then continue on your merry way. There is the restore HP MP bucket there. Not sure exactly why they put it there. Just to maybe give you a little check of, you know, did you pick the right class? And then they kind of move on. So there's a shot of Castle Burtgang and Burtgang itself, and you're going to move that way. I think there are a couple little story elements here, but really this video, not a lot of surprises. Well, aside from the story reveals, I should say there's no big boss, there's no difficult piece on this. Just run from all the fights, pick up all the treasure boxes, and you're on your way. So even though I mentioned it in a previous piece, clearly here, Sarah is the princess of Burtgang. She is royalty. I think it's supposed to be a bit of a secret, though. I don't think it wasn't that big of a deal. When I found out, I was kind of like, oh, okay. So, I mean, she's always been kind of a secretive character. It really comes to no surprise. And even the reveal of she's a princess, it's very unimpactful to the story overall. Not that I'm complaining about it. It's kind of a cool little facet, gives her a little bit of personality, but I don't think that this is necessarily a big reveal. You know, this isn't, oh my gosh, this adds so much to the story. She's a princess, wow. I don't think that that's the case here. I think the story pieces that happen here, unveiling what exactly had happened at Burtgang, how things went down, add that with the fact that she's a princess, and it does add a little bit of character to her. So it addresses a little bit of one of my complaints about this game, in that the characters don't really command any sort of attachment whatsoever. This gives a little bit of attachment to Sarah, and as I've said many times before this, Alba also has a little bit of attachment to her just because she's a quirky character, which is kind of interesting because typically when I'm playing Final Fantasy games, I would have to say I usually attach more to male characters, but that would probably be because I'm male. Though I do think that Square has done a really good job writing female characters as well. You have, like Final Fantasy IV, Rydia is a very much more complex character with her mom dying, and then the whole summoner thing. Rosa was kind of one-dimensional. Rosa was written, I think, very much as an atypical. She wasn't really a lady damsel in distress so much. I mean, she did get into that situation once, but she was kind of an interesting heroine, because later on she became a little more useful, not only as the healer, but she got more powerful. And nonetheless, she seemed very, as a story character, she wasn't very in-depth. Not like Rydia was. Rydia had a little bit more going for her. And then in Final Fantasy VI, which is the Super Nintendo 3, both Celes and, or Celeste, I should say, and Terra were amazing characters. Realm, not so much. She was kind of quirky. Realm was kind of the equivalent of Alba in this story, except for not nearly as dirty. But she didn't have a lot of story to her, didn't have a lot going for her. So, anyways, most of the characters here don't really stand up the same way. Especially, well, I should say, the female characters in this game, I think they're more stand out than the other characters. When you think of, you know, Aegis and Soul and Noct. I mean, I do have a little bit of an affinity for Noct and Soul, but it's probably just because they are the standouts as kind of more the leaders in each respective group. But the other characters, for the most part, I hardly even remember their names, which is not great to say about a game that I've been playing for, you know, 25 plus hours already, and I'm not really familiar with who they are, what they do. So a whole lot of running. Luckily though, this area, very short. I'm just about off the mountain already. And then we'll move over to the castle. Or at least the city. I really wish they would clean up that text syncing problem. And off to the castle, because the castle is going to be where the story actually advances. You walk in a little ways and then she gets caught, but you don't actually have to fight anything, if I remember correctly. They just catch her and then you flip back to the other team. So that's going to be it for this piece of the walkthrough. We'll see you on the next piece. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, this has been Pixel Freak.